Hey, welcome back to Mr. Smith Garage. We're trying a few different things. I do appreciate, I've got a viewer that he lives down the street. Anyway, he let me know that my volume's off a little bit. And I think what's happening is I do my editing in the evenings and I use earbuds. And sounds fine to me, but it's also very quiet. And so what I'm doing now is I'm adjusting down kind of where my volume is and trying to bring up the gain in DaVinci so that it's a little bit louder. So I appreciate that feedback from my viewer Tim. The other thing that I think I got some questions about from a viewer was how clean the timing chain covers were, and that's just from cleaning stuff. So anyway, this was a pretty dirty engine to begin with. Same thing with this oil pan. I just like soaked it, cleaned it, worked on it quite a bit. So yeah, it looks brand new, and that's what it should look like going back together. Interesting thing is this is a oil pan heater. So these cars were made to work well in cold environments, and so it's already got that all built into that pan, which is kind of cool. So what we're doing today is pretty quick. Should be quick. Is we're gonna go ahead and put this oil pan on. Here's kind of where we're putting it. I've gone around and I've chased all of the threads, cleaned all the hardware that's going in there. As you can see, it's over here on this table behind me. So I've got all the hardware here. I'm going to use that black RTV around the bottom of this. We got some thread lock. We know that our torque is 106 inch-pounds or 12 Newton meters. So pretty light on that. So we want to make sure I got a good seal around here. I didn't do much cleaning inside here because it is smooth. I can kind of tell there's no play of any of the rods that I went around and checked. And so we're just going to put this together and that's going to be it, right? So hopefully my volume's doing a little bit better than it was before. And again, I'm going to continue to work on that. So I do appreciate that. I'm working on the lighting so that the lighting's a little bit better. I'm trying to get all these things dialed in for the channel. So thanks for your comments, and you guys can continue to make those comments as we get through doing YouTube stuff, huh? Always working in little tight quarters, which is fine. Got the Zero the dog over there hanging out. Okay, let's look around, make sure we got a good bead all the way around. We don't want any leaks on this engine. So there's really only one way that this can go on. We got the curvature end down here on the bottom, straight end across the top. Let me get my blue Loctite out. We're going to just snug these all up first. I'm going to get a couple going because I want to make sure we get it so that it doesn't smear this around. We'll put one right here. Okay, there's one. Let's put one over on this side. Boy, this engine stand sure makes it a lot easier to do this kind of thing. There's two hidden ones right in these holes. So just don't forget those two. Okay, so now we have them all snug. Now's our chance to, let's see, is that, yep, that's gonna be long enough. Get our torque wrench. And again, we're at 106. 106. Let's see. Which isn't very tight, but if we've got those seals in there, that sealant, we've got these all torqued to spec, which is that 106 inch-pounds. So you can see there are some right in here. There's one, and in here there's one. So you got to make sure you get all of them, right? These would come from the bottom. If the transmission was there, you'd still have access to this pan. You'd have to take off a couple of transmission bolts in order to pull the pan off, but you could do that if you really needed to take the pan back off. But here's down this side here and all the way around. I'm just gonna, this is interesting light. It actually flickers on film, but it doesn't flicker in real life. So kind of interesting. But you can see that little tiny bead of silicone coming out in a couple spots. I don't like this light. Not for what we're doing. I don't want you guys to be, having seizures or anything. How's this one look? Yeah, that one doesn't blink as much, huh? But you can see just in a couple spots the little dab of that RTV coming out. It's not everywhere, which it's okay, because I don't know if you noticed where I put it, but I put it kind of towards the inside of the pan. But it's, because it's clean, it has spread itself all the way out to the outside, which is good. That means it's a full coverage. There are those little galleys in there that created space. So, well, that's it for today. I will tell you that, holy smokes, this engine is heavy. Tell you what, it's really nice to be able to move the engine this way, but that the way that this is positioned, it is a heavy engine. But yeah, this is super heavy, and I will tell you that I almost thought it was going to spin backwards on me in order to get this thing to go back the way I want it to. I have to really push. There we go. I think this engine is somewhere in the neighborhood of 450 pounds or something like that. I feel like it's really heavy. I don't know, it may be more. Now that I've got pretty much all of it together, I'm just trying to think of what else I'm gonna maybe put on here before I put it back on the hoist. Yeah, I probably will start putting it back on the hoist. Bring that hoist out here, because it's about the weight right now that, and I'm going to put the transmission on next, I'm pretty sure. I got to kind of go through my videos and see what I did last, but to get that on, I want it flat and straight, and putting the tranny on will just, be kind of that next step. And then probably the valve cover will go on. And then we'll start to put on like the fuel rail. I think I might put the exhaust manifold on before I put it in, because some of these were really hard to get to, these bolts from up underneath. I'm just trying to think if I'm going to be able to get it in the front of the Eurovan, but we'll see. I don't know. Hopefully you've been enjoying this series. Again, I'm learning through this process, and so it's been good for me to learn. Oh yeah, I gotta put the crack pipe in and thermostat. This is where the right down there is where the dipstick goes in, right here. I got my oil filter, a cooler. I think that's the cooler, and then the filter attaches to it as well. So quite a bit going on. Thanks for joining Mr. Smith's Garage. We appreciate those of you that are following this. Again, this is just a project that fell in my lap, and I'd really like to make sure that this thing runs when it goes out of the garage. If it doesn't, then I'll probably pull it all apart, clean all the parts, and sell the parts individually, because these parts are expensive. But I don't have much doubt that it'll run, but I just never worked on a vehicle like this before, so it'll be fun. Well, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.